Hey everyone, today I'll be covering training out of bounds. The main idea behind training out of bounds is that we skip this entire assault course, which, if done casually is pretty lengthy and pretty boring, and, when doing a speed run, we don't want that. So what we do? Well, we skip it. And there are two ways you can set up this out of bounds. I'm going to show you both ways. But the main idea here is that you wall jump off of this wall to this platform, this little plank here. And then what we do is we jump on this ceiling support and fall down, from the rafters. We fall down to pretty much the end of the assault course, and, this saves a lot of time. So if you can learn this, I promise you your training times will go down very, very, very quickly. So the first way of setting this up I'm going to show you is pretty much what everyone does, albeit with slight variations. But the main idea is this. You want to get Sam around here, or at least that's what I do. And there are two key details to look out for. First of all, make sure that Sam is positioned so that he's somewhat in the middle compared to this little ladder hole. And also make sure that this plank line, not sure what it's called, this plank line is right in between Sam's legs, like this, right? And then what we want to do is we want to look at this smaller switch next to the electricity box, and you want to, well, I like to cover it with Sam's head. And then I quick save, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wall jump, and I'm going to turn my camera and inch towards the platform while holding D. So, it's a little bit of a bad setup here. There we go. So, as you can see, I'm wall jumping, and then I switch my camera, and if you take a look at my inputs, I'm also holding D, which makes me move just ever so slightly towards this collision here, which is where you want to end up. And yeah, with enough practice you'll get it down in no time. It'll just become muscle memory, but it may require some practice. So another way of setting this up is basically the same idea but executed a little bit differently, but it also has very clear visual references, I think. So what I do is I drop down to the ledge. Be careful and don't walk right under the zipline, because this will happen. And this is because, it's a training level, so the game sort of guides you through the objectives, even if you fail at them like that, right? So be careful not to do that, and also make sure you're on your lowest speed. And you want to grab this ledge like this. And again, position Sam so that he's like in the middle, just like before. And now you want to look at this wall, and here I find this third line here from the bottom. And if you can see, there's a top goggle sticking out of Sam's head, and I like to align it with this third line so that it barely touches it. And then what I also like to do is I like to find this vertical axis, this vertical line, and then I find an intersection point between these two lines. So it's right about here. I'm going to put a visualizer in post to help you see what I'm imagining here. And then once I find this intersection point, I will just quick save and do the exact same jump as I talked before. Basically, wall jump. Oh, it's a bit off. Come on. Wall jump, and then inch towards the platform. Wall jump, inch towards the platform. Just like that. Either way, you're going to end up here. And from here, you're going to want to jump on the rafters here. Just like this. You want to jump diagonally and then turn your camera to face the rafters head on. As you can see, I'm turning my camera mid-jump. That's because if you just jump diagonally, well, you can jump diagonally as well, but just make sure to then adjust later on to jump here. Yeah, you want to make your way on the rafter here. And from here, all you need to do is just make a jump like that, or you can make a jump, oh god, wow. Or you can make a jump like this, and then jump down, which will prevent you from losing health. Or you can also do this non-stop, which will either end up like this, or you can actually slow down by 2 speed levels, which requires you to have a keyboard bind for slowing down. For me, it's F. And as soon as you land on the rafters here, you want to slow down by 2 speed levels and then make a subsequent jump. And it looks like this. Oh, I kind of failed it there. There you go. Which is a little bit complicated, but you know, it makes you not stop, and then you're good to go here. But once you land here, you're gonna want to follow these wall lines, and then once you reach this corner, be very careful. The collision here is like a pixel in width, so it's very easy to fall down. But you want to carefully make your way around this corner so you can freely move forward. And what we're going to do here is we're going to jump off of an imaginary collision here, like this. And the goal is to make it into this tower. But to do that, you want to gain enough forward momentum as well as height. So you got to time it right, and make sure you go forward enough so you reach this platform. And even I sometimes fail that, which is, I mean, pretty standard. But if you find yourself unable to do this, you can always just do the casual route by just dropping down here and taking the pipe like that. And then once you're in this tower, you're gonna fall down in whatever way you want. You can just roll down like this and then move into the trigger, or you can move immediately to the trigger and then skip it. Or you can take the ladder, especially if you're on low HP after that out of bounds jump. You can take the ladder and then drop from it, and this will prevent you from taking any damage. But yeah, and actually one last thing while we're in training here. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, there we go. So if you find yourself stuck like that, don't worry, the game hasn't crashed. All you need to do is just press your pause break key, and you'll be good to go. However, some keyboards don't have a pause break key, so if yours doesn't, you can go to controls here and scroll down until you see pause, and you can set this bind to whatever you want. For example, I just set it to K here, and if you find yourself again in that situation, you know, like that, you can just always press K again, or whatever you bind it to, and you're good to go. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you learned how to do training out of bounds, and have fun speedrunning.